Hi there movie fans, and welcome to another edition of Movies. This time I'm going to be reviewing Chicken Run Dawn of the Nugget. It's an animated tale from Aardman. As I'm sure you're aware, this is a sequel to the original Chicken Run, which was from the year 2000. Wow, 23 years ago. It seems a long time between the first one and this one. So is it worth the wait? Well, that is the question. We have Tandy Newton, Zachary Levi, Bella Ramsey, Imelda Staunton, Lynn Ferguson, David Bradley, Jane Horrocks, Peter Serafinowicz, Nick Mohammed, Miranda Richardson, all doing the voices this time, along with Ramesh Ranganathan and Daniel Mays doing the voices of the rats Nick and Fetcher. The exceptions are, this time there's no Mel Gibson, no Julia Sawalha and no Timothy Spall or Phil Daniels, who were in the original. But I suppose it has been 23 years, so that's understandable. And also on the voice of Fowler by Benjamin Whitlow, who has since passed away, so had to be replaced with David Bradley. So the original had our chickens trying their hardest to escape the Mrs. Tweedy character and her plans. Now, after all these years of freedom, Rocky and Ginger have a child called Molly, who is voiced by Bella Ramsey. They're living in safety on an island, but Molly starts to question what's out there in the distance. So basically, the plot of this movie is Molly leaves the safety of the island and with her naivety gets captured on the mainland, and now the chicken gang need to break in and get her out. Once Molly is off the island and on the mainland, she meets a new friend who is a Scouse chicken called Frizzle. And for anyone that doesn't know, a Scouser is someone from Liverpool, England. They become friends, but then they get caught and they are taken to join loads of other chickens in a chicken nugget processing plant. Now that's not a spoiler, after all it is called Dawn of the Nugget. So this plant is heavily secured with guards and all sorts of tech to protect it from intruders. The gang must come up with some ingenious ideas to get past security and get in. Then find Molly, rescue her and make it out safely. That's the plot of the movie in a nutshell. Now with Aardman, we know what to expect, with great animation and really good characters, and this is no exception. I mean, these films are so well done. It's nice to see some of these much loved characters again in a new quest. The one who always got me was the pompous Fowler. Whenever I see him, all I can see is like a ball sack under his mouth. Well, it does look like it, doesn't it? Come on, admit it, you must have noticed. Now all of the models look great as usual. The voices work well, even if some are done by other people, and the soundtrack's good, and it's colourful and the stop motion looks awesome. This is one of those movies that you're itching to watch, but somehow I felt cheated. It lacks a certain charm of the original. The script's not as good as usual, and it just seems more corporate. And by that I mean it seems to have lost its heart and soul. It looks like one of those movies where the suits said, the first one made money, let's do it again, albeit 20 odd years later. I don't mind other people doing some of the characters. That's not the problem here. I personally think it's all down to the script. Now when I first watched the original movie with my nephews, who were just small boys at the time, we laughed a lot and we really enjoyed it. The original Chicken Run was just so good. This leaves the sequel with a hard act to follow. And this is where the problem is. You go in hoping for something as good, if not better. And I'm afraid you leave a little disappointed. That's not to say this is rubbish, but it's simply not as good. It's well made as expected. Kids will love it, of course. But it's just not as funny. The jokes are a little flat and the storyline is not as riveting as it should be. Now, although it's not as funny as I wanted, I still laughed a few times. It just needed more humour, in my opinion. You may say it was too late for a sequel, and that may be so. But when you have written such good characters in the original, there's not a problem using them again. This could have been so much better. It's not bad, it just seems a bit average. As the teacher would say, C+, must try harder. I wanted to enjoy and recommend this, and I suppose I do in a way, but with the caveat of don't go in expecting the original film part 2. Don't expect a continuation of the wonderful original, and hard as I try, I have to hold back and give it a 5 out of 10. Which, don't forget, it's not a bad rating, but neither is it top notch. It's not excellent, it's average. I still enjoyed it, but not as much as I'd hoped, and not as much as it should have been. It's a missed opportunity in my opinion. It's still enjoyable, but limited fun. But don't be put off by this, it's still worth a viewing. Thank you for watching this last review of the year from us here at Movies. Next time, I hope to have the 2023 outtakes from the team uploaded, which are quite amusing as we screw up filming our reviews. Well, after all, we are just a few guys doing it from my house. So be sure to subscribe and look out for more from us in the future.